You can get in an amazing workout all standing and really hitting your rectus abdominis, your obliques, all the way across your abs. So we're gonna start with one of my favorites, which is a standing bicycle crunch. Piper, you ready? Okay, let's do it. For a standing bicycle crunch, we are gonna start, you guessed it, standing. So I like to take hands behind your head, just right at the back of your head. I overlap fingers and kind of put my thumbs down, but I want you to keep your chest open and elbows out as you're doing this. With every standing ab exercise we do, you're gonna really engage your core and think about the contraction of the muscle. One of the best parts about doing standing abs is it works your whole body, not just the isolation in your abs. But I wanna make sure we do it in a controlled way that does really contract your abdominal muscles. So for these standing bicycle crunches, hands are up, you're lifted nice and tall, chest, elbows are open. I like to start with my feet just about shoulder width apart, and you're pulling one leg up and twisting with the opposite side. So knee comes up and you twist toward your elbow, toward that knee, and then back the other way. So you're crossing and lifting, cross and lift there. Okay, you can tell balance is something you work on with this too. That's one of the great things is you're really engaging. So yes, engaging more muscle groups, a little bit more of a compound exercise, but stability and core strength are all building with exercises like this. A few watch outs. I want to make sure when you're doing the standing bicycle crunches that you're not bending down too much. You don't want to drop your chest down. It's a twist and a contract as you go in. You don't fold forward. You let those abdominal muscles contract by both bringing your leg up and bringing your elbow towards that bottom knee. So here, okay? You notice I'm not actually touching my knee. That's because I don't want you to bring your elbow down. I want to make sure all of the movement is in the core there across your chest, coming down and toward. So crossing. Something I see people do a lot is use momentum with this too. And if you use momentum, you're not going to get much of any abdominal work because your legs will take over, your arms will take over, and you won't get that engagement out of your core. So take your time with it, nice and slow, crunch up and down. Okay, those are a little better. All right, exercise number 1, standing bicycle crunches. My next standing abdominal exercise is an oblique crunch, so a standing oblique crunch. For this one, we're really targeting in on the sides of your abs. So those oblique muscles are gonna super fire with this movement. So we're gonna start standing nice and tall, chest is lifted, feet are about shoulder width apart, and I want you to start with your arms down at your sides. For a basic, straightforward oblique crunch from a standing position, you are keeping really good form where your hips are slightly rolled under and you have a neutral spine, chest is forward and neck is lifted so that you're just kind of looking straight ahead. I want you from here to lean slowly down, kind of letting your fingertips graze along your thigh and then come back up. So slowly down and come back up. And what you'll find is that you start to shift your weight. It's one of the difficult things of this movement is I want you to try to keep your weight distributed equally between each of your feet so that you're not lifting up off one foot when you're doing that standing oblique crunch. So you're here and you're slowly coming down, really letting your abs crunch in. So you'll feel more of a stretch on the right side as you're crunching down with that left oblique. Okay, if you're doing it from the other side, down here. Awesome. So there's a few ways that we can take and modify this standing oblique crunch to make it a little more challenging. You can do things We can grab a pair of dumbbells. So anytime you add weight or you add resistance, you're gonna make the movement more difficult and engage more muscle fibers. So I am gonna grab my pair of dumbbells here. And you can kind of play with the weight, see what feels appropriate for you. Start with a lighter weight and work up as you get stronger. Okay, so again, feet are shoulder width apart. I'm gonna stand up tall. And oh, a little trick that I always do with ab work like this. I take a breath in to help me lift my chest and pull in. So pulling in your abs. So I'm here and lifting up, and you can see instead of kind of drooping down with my posture in a standing oblique crunch, I'm gonna have my chest lifted. And it's just that little extra that will lengthen and give you more bang for your buck with your ab work. So lifted here, and now I'm coming down and letting that weight just graze along the outside of my quad. Okay, that is a standing oblique crunch. I have a standing ab exercise for you that actually is also going to work shoulders, stability, and a little bit of legs. This is the windmill exercise. For a windmill, what I'd like you to do, let's start with the setup on this one. So foot position is actually pretty important. We're going to start with feet about shoulder width apart. And then what I want you to take and do is turn one foot out about 90 degrees. So one foot's forward, the other's out, making a bit of an L shape with your heels lining up. So keep those heels in line. Keep your chest forward with that front leg. Your body will naturally kind of tend to twist, but I want you to really focus on your obliques here. We're gonna hit that side body hard, and that requires you to keep your chest open toward the front. So one arm goes up, next arm goes down here. So I like to open your palms when you're doing the windmill exercise, and you're gonna run your hand along the inside of your thigh as you go down. So with control, nice and slow, we're gonna reach down and come back up. So a lot of people will have big bends. Some people you'll see do this exercise with totally straight knees. I like just a soft bend, so you're not locking out your knee, but you're not overextending either. You're not pushing your knee over your toes. So chest is lifted and back twist open. See, I did it myself too. Chest is open here. One arm up, one arm to the side, and you're going down and come back up. If you want to make this more challenging, we're going to go ahead and grab a weight. So anytime you throw a weight in with a standing ab exercise, you're going to increase the resistance, increase the muscle fiber recruitment, and here it's going to help you target your obliques even more. So for this, I'm going to grab a single dumbbell and leave the other ones there. You only need one when you're doing a windmill exercise. A lot of people use a kettlebell for this. Use a kettlebell if you have it, that's great. For me, I've got my dumbbell and I'm really comfortable with that. So we're gonna start, arms extended. Hi, Piper. Yeah, the dog's getting in on the action today a lot. So, okay, let me step back. We're gonna do the setup, right? Feet, shoulder width apart. Toes are forward to start, and then you take and rotate one leg out. So you've got that nice L with your heels lined up. When you're doing it with a weight, first, rack the weight up and then extend over your head. Shoulders stay forward and open to the front. You're not letting them twist and you're not letting the weight come out really far. So chest is here. Take that second hand, turn down, and work nice and slow, reaching down and coming back up. Few watch outs. That base leg where you have the majority of your weight is going to stay nice and straight and strong. The second leg, soft bend. Don't overdo it, but but don't lock it out either. Your arm that's extended, you're taking it up, but as you come down, you're going to try to keep a straight line, wrist, elbow, shoulders, even as your upper body leans to the side. So you're here, down. You're going to have a little bit of separation in your shoulders. Chest stays open to the front the whole time. Try that on the other side. So here, set up your feet, turn that toe out, arms lifted, straight line, shoulders, elbow, actually, nope, wrist, elbow, shoulders, palm turned in, and you're lifted up, chest is forward, not to the side. Chest is forward throughout the movement. And you're going down and up. Don't worry if you can't touch the ground. There's going to be some limitations with flexibility here, but you'll still get a lot of work even if you're coming in a shorter range of motion. So if you're a beginner with this, or if your flexibility is limited, you can use a shorter range of motion and still get a good windmill out of it. Okay, that is a windmill exercise for those obliques, for your abs, shoulders, with a dumbbell. Piper and I are going to show you how to do a wood chop, standing abdominal exercise today. You ready, babes? Okay, let's hop in. For a standing wood chop, this is one of those standing abdominal exercises that recruits a whole lot of your body. So compound movement, you're using your legs, you're using your core for sure, but even your upper body is getting involved. So this is named for that chopping motion. So literally, if you were to take an axe and chop wood, right? Okay, we're gonna go across like that. So the setup for a wood chop is that your feet are gonna be about shoulder width apart. Right, Piper? Yeah? Okay, feet shoulder width apart. Chest is lifted, core is nice and tight, hips are slightly tilted under, just slightly. You're gonna start the motion reaching up to the side, and as you do that, your toes are gonna twist. So you're bringing your upper body up and your toe twist to the side here. And then as you come back down, you're gonna contract your core and you're allowing a kind of a natural pivot with your feet. So down, reaching up and coming back down. So if you watch outs with this, I don't want you to use a lot of momentum. So don't swing up hard and come down. This is not a golf swing. It's a very directed wood chop. If you think about it, you're hitting into that tree, you're stopping the motion at the bottom. Top, you bring it up and you're stopping it down, okay? To make a wood chop a little more challenging, we're gonna add weight. So let me come over to my dumbbells. And I'm gonna grab a single dumbbell for this. You can leave the other ones behind for now. You're gonna take and reach. So hold the dumbbell. I like to hold it end to end, the bell part, and twist up. It's gonna allow you to keep your chest twisted. So as you come up, you're gonna twist your chest there, let your feet naturally pivot, and bring it down. Up and down there. Now, with the wood chop, I keep a very soft bend in my elbows. You don't lock them out. That puts a little extra strain that you want to avoid. So if we're going the opposite way, we start with that setup. Dumbbells to the chest. Feet are shoulder width. And as you reach up, you're twisting your feet. So reach nice and tall. And then in a straight arc, bring it down here. Straight arc? I don't know if that's right. So up. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but an arcing motion, how about that? Up and over, reach toward the upper corner, and then down. So an exercise like a wood chop, so a standing exercise, a standing ab exercise like this, it's great because it really is a functional movement. Not that you're gonna be necessarily out chopping wood all the time, but I guarantee there are gonna be times where you're bending down, picking something up, and putting it on a tall shelf, right? So that core twist, it's all about your core as you go through this movement. So not only are you hitting rectus abdominis, you're getting a lot of oblique work in your torso there too. Okay, that is a standing wood chop exercise. What I love about a wide sumo side bend is that not only are you hitting your torso and really hitting your core, obliques, rectus abdominis, all of the abdominal muscles, you get a bonus out of this one. You're hitting your glutes too. So with a wide sumo side bend, you're gonna start, let's start with the setup, okay? So I'm gonna take my feet and you're going wider with your toes out a bit at an angle. And that's where the sumo portion of this comes in, because you've got that sumo squat here where your toes are turned out and your feet are a bit wider than shoulder width. So you're gonna line up there first, and as you sink down into the squat movement, ideally you wanna get to where you're horizontal here. If you're limited by flexibility, that's okay. Just take it as much as you can. So I'm gonna come down here for the full movement, and you're holding an isometric contraction and squeezing your glutes. So when you're here, you're down, you wanna keep your knees open and really squeeze in your glutes, okay? So that's the beginning setup for the bottom half of our wide sumo side bend. But this is a side bend, right? We're gonna hit those obliques. So we're holding that, go back, and you're down, horizontal. Don't let those knees cave in. Keep your knees open and your chest forward. And then goalpost arms here. So arms up, and you're gonna slowly lean side. One, and side two. And you're really crunching in. So you're gonna feel this. It's hitting right in that oblique. So as you come down, really give it that extra bit of crunch down. If you're super flexible, maybe your elbow touches your knee. Maybe it doesn't, that's okay. You're still gonna get a good workout either way. Okay, it's time to make this harder. So let's grab some dumbbells. And for this standing abdominal exercise, I'm gonna use 2 dumbbells. So we go back to our setup, toes turned out, feet wide, sink down into that sumo squat position. From here, elbows come up, so goalpost arms. Don't let your arms dip down too much. Try to keep them up and chest lifted. So this alone is a super hard, like isometric contraction right here. Now we add the obliques. So it's a lean to the side and back up and really activate as you're doing it. Oh, okay, now I'm tired. The great part of these wide sumo side bends is that you really do feel that contraction and tightening in your torso and especially your side body. Now my glutes are a little sore too. So, okay, wide sumo side bends. This standing abdominal exercise is really the granddaddy of all of them. So instead of going on the ground for a crunch, we're gonna take a crunch to a standing position. So this is a traditional type of crunch movement, but we're gonna put a twist on it. Okay, so we're gonna start with the standing position, standing crunch, all right? Feet are about shoulder width, toes are facing forward. So with each of the abdominal exercises we do, I like to see you just a small pelvic tilt under. Don't let your back arch too much. You wanna really keep it under just a bit and engage your core. That's going to allow you really to tighten those ab muscles. Every time you do a standing abdominal exercise, you have to engage your mind-muscle connection. It's not just that you can do momentum and throw these exercises out there. You got to think about what you're actually engaging and make sure that that's the part of your body that you're working. Okay, so for this standing abdominal crunch, I'm going to start feet are shoulder width apart, toes are forward, chest is lifted, so it's that deep breath in, lifting your rib cage and drawing your abs in tight. From here, I'm going to reach my arms overhead, and I like to make fists with this. It just feels stronger. I don't know, sure. So you're reaching up overhead, nice and strong, and elevated, chest is lifted and head is up a bit. As you crunch down, you're going to pull your elbows down towards your knee and reach back up. And pull down and reach up. Down and reach up. So that standing crunch really hits right in the center of your abs. I think we should make this exercise harder. So let's grab a dumbbell for these standing crunches. I like to hold it from either end in your palm of your hands. So let's do the setup, right? Get your feet in position, just about shoulder width apart. Toes are kind of naturally forward, maybe a touch turned out, but mostly forward. Chest is lifted and extend the dumbbell up overhead. So from here, you're crunching down and really pulling in and lifting back up. In here. What I like is now, not only are we engaging our core, we have to stabilize our body, the lower body's working, the quads are working here, and now with this extra load, with the dumbbell, my shoulders and arms are working too. So talk about a full functional movement, a compound movement, and actually a little bit of cardio if you do it fast. So twisting here, it's down and up. And if you want to take and make this really challenging, you're going to try keeping your legs straight. So from the standing crunch here, for this one, I'm going to have my feet a little closer together and lifted and pulling down and back up. So now, not only am I squeezing my core and working my shoulders, my quads are burning, getting a really good quad contraction too. Whoop. And balance, you're working your balance. All right, so there are some really nice variations on a standing abdominal crunch. So those are 5 must-do ab exercises from a standing position. If you have trouble doing abs on the floor, sore neck, sore back, just want to keep your heart rate higher and really engage, standing ab exercises are where it's at. So thank you so much for joining me. If this video has been helpful, I would really appreciate it if you would hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and I will get all of my latest content delivered directly to you.